Good afternoon, everyone. It's rainy outside, but it's sunny in here. It's an absolute honor and privilege to be back, so thank you to the administration, to the faculty, to Chancellor Fernandez and his family for inviting me today. I'd like to just spend 6 or 7 minutes talking about 3 topics. One is how Penn State Abington and Penn State overall has influenced me. Secondly, how it's helped create what I believe in as a person. And third, my view of this institution going forward. When I came to Penn State, I didn't really have much expectations. I grew up in South Philadelphia. We didn't speak a lot about colleges. Penn State, Abington, or Ogons as it was called, was close, it was affordable, and it provided the access. Everything a land-grant institution should do. And I was a good student, but I didn't really know what I wanted to study. I knew I wanted to do something with business. It may be vain, but I'm not ashamed to say that I wanted to make money. But I didn't know how or in what discipline. And interestingly, it was not through a business professor that I learned who I was. It was through a sociology professor by the name of Dr. Vicky Abt. And when I took sociology and social psychology courses from Dr. Abt, she taught me about how people behave in groups and how people influence each other and the different sources of motivation. And I found that I really liked that. And I was actually pretty good at it. And while many of my advisors and friends were encouraging me to major in accounting or statistics or finance, I really liked this. So I decided to major in organizational behavior at Penn State, what some consider to be the soft business major. But for me, that was the furthest thing from the truth. It was how people react to each other. And I used those lessons with me as I pursued my career. I spent the first 16 years at IBM, living both in the United States, as well as running a large part of IBM in Tokyo. Then at the age of 40, I was fortunate to become the youngest CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And then at 47, I became the CEO of a 300,000 person company. And through all of that, the lessons of Penn State rung so true on how people behave with each other, how people act with each other. Simply, I would have not have been fortunate, maybe even lucky, to have the success that I've had it not been for those beautiful lessons that I learned at Penn State. But it wasn't only on the business side. In 2008, I was getting ready to give a big keynote speech, 20,000 people. I had a sinus infection. I went to the doctor. The doctor said, we could give you these 2 antibiotics. One was called Augmentin, or they could give me the big gun called Levaquin. I said, business is everything. People are waiting for me. I can't miss the speech. Give me the big gun. A week later, I was in a wheelchair where I stayed for the next 18 months. Wow. Essentially, the antibiotic attacked the cellular structure of my body, altering the mitochondrial DNA, and essentially causing this cellular damage, which lasted until the cells reset themselves, which takes about 7 years. But thankfully, after about 2 years, I began to feel much better. And right at that time, my wife was diagnosed with advanced breast cancer and had to move to MD Anderson to get surgeries and chemo and radiation. And it was during these times when I learned really what Penn State meant to me. Penn State's not a bunch of people or professors or teaching that stay in the clouds, but it teaches you life lessons too. It teaches you about resiliency, stick-to-itiveness, honesty, perspective, family. Those are values that I take from Penn State, as important as the lessons I took to become the CEO of 2 Fortune 500 companies. I feel great now. I'm doing great now. Since that time, I've become the chairman of another very large company. My wife, more importantly, is fully in remission. She's doing terrific, so all is good. The day my wife was diagnosed, we came home, and there was a box. We opened the box, and it was a pink tie with Nittany lions. Penn State was telling me, we know Kim has cancer, but we're going to be with you on this journey. And every step of the way, my dear friends, my dear colleagues at Penn State were with me. It's not to say my friends from Harvard Business School were not, but it's just different. Where you go for undergraduate really, really matters in shaping who one is. So we're from here for Penn State Abington and for Penn State overall. I say to the faculty, to the administration, and to our new chancellor, think big. However big you think you're thinking, think bigger. Think really, really big. I came here a couple weeks ago to spend some time with Chancellor Fernandez. And when I walked around campus, I was inspired. I saw people, different ages, different colors, different creeds, but with a curiosity to learn, with a curiosity to find themselves, with a yearning to better themselves. No institution in the country can do that better than Penn State. And I challenge the administration, the faculty, the leaders that are here today. Are you thinking big enough? Both substantively as well as how you're telling the story of Penn State. Does the world know what this institution does? If you have a great story, but it's not being told, it doesn't count. And likewise, if you have a vacuous story and you tell it persuasively, it's still empty. We have the substance, but let's build on that substance. Let's think long and hard about what role Abington can have, what role these campuses have. I would not be where I am today were it not for a local campus. I was not ready to go to University Park, but I was ready to come to Abington. And as we think about where Abington is going, I think we are blessed to have our new chancellor. What a success story. From Cuba to Princeton, to leading some of the most progressive grade schools, high schools in our country, changing the curriculum, having people think openly, think about interdisciplinary functions. That's what we need, that fresh thinking. And by the way, maybe a few more parking places as well. Unbelievable, I came here last week, there was like no place to park. It's unbelievable. I think that I have like somebody have a spot for me. Today they did. So I say to you in closing, Penn State is a wonderful, wonderful place. For me, it allowed me to discover who I am. It armed me with the tools to get to where I have been professionally. And it's allowed me to hold values dear that has allowed me to overcome some personal challenges. But most importantly, it's allowed me to understand life. And when I see other colleges, and I'll be honest, you know, my daughter's a senior right now, and we're looking at multiple colleges. And a lot of them have fancy this or fancy that, but they don't have the guttiness of Penn State. And that's why we say Penn State proud. And I'll close with the following. In 1986, I was fortunate to be the valedictorian in Penn State. And I've made some good predictions in my life, and I've also been wrong. But on this one occasion, I was prophetic. I said during my commencement speech that I will take the people and the essence of Penn State with me throughout life. And that's exactly what I have done. And as you write the next chapter, I wish you all the very best at bringing people together so that they too can take this beautiful community with them throughout life. Thank you for your time.